It's been days. Hi. It's been days since my last since my last project, not upload. That's a problem. Basically, I have been doing school again, like it came back in session because there's, no more snow. It's Georgia, of course, that's not gonna happen. But I ended up having a bunch of schoolwork to do, and then a bunch of laziness, and then no video, no results, no nothing. Let me give you some few updates because it's been weeks. It's been days. It has almost been a month actually since I worked on my last project, which is not okay. I don't know if you know this, but my sound quality in my last video that was horrible. Yeah, I got this microphone. I have another one, but I'm happy because I finally found something that can connect to this phone. So yeah. So right now is currently 11:45 p.m. and first I need to go to sleep because we're going to be waking up early in the morning tomorrow. But I have a whole plan set out for tomorrow, and I just wanted to get on here and tell y'all what the plan is before I do it. So tomorrow basically I'm planning to go to Home Depot, get stuff, finish pricing because I'm not making a video about that because prices will be released when they get released. Figure out something with my website. I came up with designs recently for tags, but I'm gonna need to scratch those and find something else because there's only like 2 of those that I actually like, and there's 4. And I know that if I don't even like them, why would the people like them? My mind was not thinking. The brain was not having brain power sufficient enough to try to make a good tag design for book bags and keychains, and that's a problem because what am I gonna sell if I don't have a good design? And I was gonna try to do the resin tomorrow, but that's not gonna happen because I already have other things to do, and I need to experiment first before I actually really do it. I will hopefully be doing that on Thursday or Friday of next week. But yeah, really, I was excited to use this mic. That's why I'm doing this now. This video is part 2 of part 1 of the resin design. It's just gonna have a little bit of other things before we get to the actual resin. So I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Okay, so I have a task list of stuff that I'm supposed to be doing today. I'm gonna be hopefully doing resin on Thursday. Right now, since it's early and I kind of just woke up, I'm going to get breakfast and then we are going to head on to Home Depot. And now we wait. Nice and smooth. Delicious. So now we're getting ready to go to Home Depot. Once we get done with that, then we'll actually leave. Yeah, I made the decision. I should anytime I go out in public, I'm gonna wear the sponge one because this does just kind of look crazy a little bit. Approaching the wood aisle. Where is it? Oh wait, this is the particle board? Traveling to a different aisle. So basically we're near all of this wood and we still can't find what we need. And not only that, even if we find what we need to get it cut because apparently stuff is really expensive and I can't afford that. There are 2 things called fiberboard and particle board, and that's what we have to try to find the difference between. What kind of board? What are you talking about?
Because we might have to go with a quarter inch. $25.
This is getting too expensive for my liking.
Yeah, you see it now?
The original tag I made, we use a different kind of wood particle board, but
we use fiberboard, but
okay, well we use a different type of fiberboard, and this is what we're using now. This is very flexible. Why is it so flexible? Oh, that's not gonna fit. Now we're heading on to get a clear spray or coat. That's what it's called. I've been put up to the task to be trying to find the clear, huh? I mean, it says paint right there, so I would think I don't know what I'm looking for. Yeah, I have no idea where it is. So this is all the stuff we're looking at. And the HD is supposed to be where? We eventually found it. We're gonna have the gloss one because matte is boring and it's not shiny. We also got some paint coats for a different project coming up later. See, because that just made me mad. Finally made it out of Home Depot. I would say that was a pretty successful run. We got the stuff we needed, and I didn't get any questions, of course, to ask to why. There's just random puffball sticking out of my chest. Why does my camera keep unfocusing? The next time I will see you is Thursday. And that's when we'll actually be doing the epoxy. See you then. It's time. I'm finally about to do the resin. It is 10:11 at night, and I actually didn't want to wait this long to do it, but wait a minute, almost forgot the most important part. I have made some edits to the original design I drew. So instead of this weird other A, I'm gonna use this A. Don't ask me why, I just saw a font and I liked it. So I'm gonna use this A, and I'm gonna cut the hearts out of wood as well, and then just go over them with a pink, or no, a red color, which, yeah, that's what it looks like so far. I know kind of how to do the resin now. I'm just trying to figure out how am I going to make that little wave without mixing the colors. So in fact, that whole design might change because I'm still gonna add the gold because I have these handy little gold foil flakes. So that's still gonna be there. But the waves and stuff is probably just gonna all be pink instead of just white, clear, and gold, because that would be boring. Or I could do like a white and gold. We're gonna figure it out when it comes to that. Right now, let's get to printing. Oh, I forgot how bad it was down here. So while my dad receives the email, I'm going to be setting up down here, opening the window, and getting all the tubes and fumes and stuff out like that. So the reason we have to let up the blinds in the window every time is because that machine, when we're cutting wood or acrylic, it always puts fumes out. And we're not trying to like smell that or inhale that and have to put our mask on. So we have this tube that is supposed to go over here. There's supposed to be a bunch of wood and stuff that's blocking the other air because y'all, it's cold. It's still cold. So yeah, we always have to set this up just to make sure that the wind and things don't like get us. If this thing falls one more time. It's just a bunch of like placements of like cardboard and wood that I don't even know. Oh, wait. Okay, so that's fine. That's good enough. That's good. See, we got it. I lied. Apparently, when I sent the photo, the thing didn't want to trace right. And like, it's not working. So now I have to go in and retrace it myself, even though I don't know how it's gonna turn out because I'm using my mouse. It's not like I have a drawing tool with me on there, so it might come out a little crooked, but I'm gonna have to try my best. That took this right here took 16 minutes. Now I know 16 minutes isn't at all a lot of time, but I don't think y'all have to understand, like, this was really late and I was already trying to go to bed, and it felt like it took forever. So yeah, that's why I'm stressing it. Why am I doing this so late? Why is it so late that I'm doing this? Now this hand-drawn A, which I didn't want to do in the first place because look at that. Look at that. Like I'm gonna have to probably fix that again. In fact, I'll do that later. But this is what's going to be sent and printed out laser cut. It went from this to this. Oh shoot, I got to draw the hearts. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna draw the hearts, then I'm gonna get back to you. We are now gonna start the printing, and hopefully, Lord willing, that none of the computer or technology doesn't work because it's too late for it to not be working right now. I realized I never actually filmed the process of this. So what you have to do is this thing on here. You have to flip it. I think I did it. Yep. And then you have to hit this switch. The first few times I did that, I never actually showed what I was supposed to be doing. But yes, when I couldn't remember what to do, that's all I have to do. If you don't know what I mean when I say the first time, go to the other video. In fact, you shouldn't have made it this far if you did not go to the other video first. Go to part 1. That will give you backstory. That will give you context. That will give you what we're doing. Now it's time for our favorite part, cutting things. So we have this gigantic whiteboard that we're going to use for the A. I'm going to lay this right here while I don't take forever to try to figure out how to operate this again. I do need a battery though. Unlike last time, I have gloves. I mean, not gloves. I have goggles. I need to. Okay, now time for the fun part. Oh, that's not aligned. This is aligned. Okay, so it wasn't aligned, but it was very close to the fact. But so I'm still gonna cut it. I was off just by a little bit, and it already broke. But yeah, so this is the piece we're gonna use. I'm gonna wipe it off because like it's dirty, and I'm not trying to have dirt encrusted in my resin. So yeah, we're about to start the test, and if this works, then we might as well just use the test for the resin. Test should be starting now. Okay. So that's nowhere near. It should be better now. So right now it looks like it's burning through way too much. So we're gonna have to first level to power. We're gonna also have to size it down a little bit more because that's way too big for the mold. Except it's really burnt, so maybe not this one specifically. So unless I can wipe that like I'm gonna say soot off, this might be a problem. Or I might actually just have to paint over it in white even though it's already white. So it turns out we can wipe away the air. We can wipe away the air. I mean, the burnt parts just requires a little bit of water. So I decided that I'm going to make it cover the whole thing instead of just putting a A in a tiny part of it. So the thing that we're doing is going to be for real now. Jesus, that's going fast. We were just working overtime. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Wait, I can't grab the handle. Okay. Oh, wait, it worked, but I think it's stuck in the holes. I think that for future projects, for resin at least, I'm going to take the molds, if I'm making like a keychain or something, I'm going to probably insert a picture of this to Inkscape because that would make it so much more easier um, to size it and to have it where it fits the mold perfectly. I can't believe, I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. So tiny problem. We got the A, but it's so thin. A lot of pieces, most of the pieces are really thin. Like this part broke off because it was so thin, and um, it's not all the way white. Like it, I wiped off most of the burnt parts, but it's it's either really just really burnt, which wouldn't make any sense, or it's just that it's so thin that I can't reach those spots. I'm trying, but some of them is just no, it's not working. I'm gonna try to reprint this again and try to make it not as skinny. Overall though, it doesn't look that bad because um it looks like, I mean, if it's like if I put that with some tweezers together on top of the resin, then that should be fine. And yes, I had 3 hearts, but 2 of them fell through the machine, so that's why. But even still, yeah, I think if unless we can get something with the laser to work, this could work. This is test 2, and so far it looks a little better. Um but on thinness, it might be the same, so I don't know. For the other test, it kind of went through a little bit, so I don't know if we're going to keep it or scrap it and just use what we have. So right now the A is being scrapped. Like at this point, I tried to make it work, but we're just gonna go with something else. But for right now, we redid the hearts, so the hearts are gonna be placed like this, and the A, will just as a visual, I'm not using this one, just as a visual, is gonna go right in the middle. I might put this heart just a little bit, yeah, so it's gonna go just like this, and then it's gonna be pink resin in the background, gold flakes places, and yeah, if you see the vision, you see the vision. If you don't, just wait to the end. Y'all, it's literally midnight, like it's midnight on the dot, and this thing is not being figured out, and I do not want to have to go upstairs and try to make a new thicker design, because like I said, the lines are way too thin. So hopefully we can figure something out and then put the rest in there and then go to bed. So it keeps ending up being the same thing, where at the back, like over here on this one, at the back, it's barely getting through. It's getting through, but only barely. So we have to keep turning up the power until it actually works. The only upside is I'm getting a few hearts from this that I might be able to use in a later project. But that's pretty much the only thing. Hopefully, what's happening now is the last try. So, um, I have to be extremely careful with this. But look, it finally kind of worked a little bit. Now I'm just gonna take this towel and try to brush off all the soot and burnt parts. So, you know what? That part doesn't even matter. This part broke off. It's just gonna be that, and that seems perfectly fine. I'm just gonna have to cover up the end part. I'm gonna be using Posca markers to try to paint this with the white. I just don't like how fragile this is. I mean, it looks a bit better. I think it's fine. But if this breaks while we're doing the resin, then I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna probably mentally give up, because that would be like that's the 8th time that we've tried to print it out. I wish I had more time today to do stuff, so we wouldn't have to be in the night, but it is what it is, because this is taking too much time. So now the good thing is, while we get ready to leave from the laser, the good thing is, I have a bunch of hearts. Like, see, I have a bunch of hearts, that I could use for a different project, because I'm using 3 for now, so that would leave me with 5. So I don't know what I could use it for, but I could use it for something. So I guess it was helpful in a way. I just need to show off my pigments one more time, because like they're so nice. I like how they look. I'm probably going to be using this one, Flash Mob. Oh, wow. They thought they were clever. And Magic Red. I feel like that should be good. And also can't forget the gold flakes. So this whole time while I'm recording the resin, my microphone was not on at all. So the audio is empty, so this will be my voiceover. So this resin is a 1-to-1 solution, meaning that it has to have half of both measurements of whatever you're putting in there. So right now we're going to be using the 10 millimeters for resin, like I'm showing on the camera. So we will be using 5 millimeters of resin and 5 millimeters of hardener. Right now I am trying to pull out the cap because that was extremely hard to pull out for no reason. Oh, let me stress, it is important that you do not mix these up whatsoever because one of them will end up not working once it dries. So now, as you can see, I've poured just a little bit too much. And by a little bit, I mean like a lot. I poured a lot too much. It went over the 20 millimeter line, that's all I'm gonna say. So I had to try to pour it back in there to get that perfect 5 millimeter, look. It took a little bit of time because it has to be extremely, well, not extremely perfect, but it has to be really close enough to an exact measurement. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now, and I'm trying to figure out where to place things because I forgot to prepare, so I forgot the napkins and stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm just constantly trying to figure out where to place things. So after a ton of pouring, I finally matched it up to 5 millimeters. Now I will be pouring the hardener, which will match the same as the resin. I also forgot to mention two things. One, I know my space is crowded. I'm going to work on that next time. And also the second thing, the cardboard near the dresser that's next to me, that was supposed to go on the table that I'm using. So if you're doing resin, just make sure to have like a silicone mat or some kind of protectant in case it gets on whatever you're using. And the mat I have right there is not silicone, but it doesn't matter because I do a bunch of crafts on that mat anyways. So yeah. So by now I've poured the hardener. Now I have to put the caps back in place. Mine are labeled, but just in case yours are not labeled, make sure to label them before you take stuff off, because trust me, that would be a lifesaver. Now it's time to put the pigment in. First I will be starting with Flash Mauve. It's like a glittery red, well, a glittery mauve color. If you don't know what mauve is, it's kind of like a purple and a red mixed together. So yeah, I have to open this first and I have to take the gloves off because this was hard to open. All of the pigments have that sealing on it and it's hard to open with gloves, so that's just, an advisement. So once I finally get it open, see, that's how it looks right there. I'm gonna begin to lightly tap it into the resin, but just for safety reasons, especially if it's your first time like me, I have to get told that by my dad. But you should use whatever measuring spoon or tool that the pigment place gives you, or if you just have your own spoon or whatever scoop, you should use that instead of accidentally putting all the pigment in there when you just meant to tap in a little bit. Moving on to the next color, I'm using Magic Red. As you can see, even with my glove off, I had to use the tweezers and something to poke it through. Again with the tapping, just use a spoon or something like a scoop to put your pigment in. I had to correct my ways. I couldn't be telling y'all to do something and then not doing it myself. I realize this is sounding more and more like a tutorial, but it's whatever. I'm trying to help y'all. So now with mixing, you have to, mix it extremely well. You can't leave any clumps of pigment, otherwise it will just look weird when you pour it. But for what I'm doing right now, I'm making a matte base because I don't want it to be all the way transparent to make it look like the A is floating. I want it to be more of a transition from matte to translucent, but still with some color. I would say usually resin looks the same once it's poured and as it's mixed, so that's the color that it's going to look like when it's actually done curing. Speaking of which, curing is going to take 3 to 5 hours because our house temperature is like 55 degrees between 75 degrees. I don't know what temperature specifically, but I know it's between that. You want to try to get a lot of the resin out as much as you can, because it would kind of just be a waste of a measuring cup, and also it would be a waste of resin. This is also going to be covered by a voiceover because it was 3 a.m. I had just woken up from a 1-hour nap and my microphone was tweaking. It's actually fine because my voice wasn't in the right place then. So now at this point, I'm just putting in the A and the hearts, and the gold flakes. That's what I'm doing right now currently. It's not fully set yet, so I'm being kind of hesitant trying to put these. So I tried to do it by hand because originally by brush, the brush was kind of sticking to the resin. So I was trying not to do that because I didn't want to mess up the brush. But with fingers, the gold flakes just kept sticking to my fingers and stuff. So I had to eventually just try to figure out something else. So yeah, like I said, it was 3 a.m. and I had actually poured the resin at 1. So it wasn't fully cured yet, so it was still sticky. So I was just trying to make sure nothing sank, nothing was wrong, no bubbles.
Okay, this part of the video is getting too long. I'm gonna cut some things out.
Good morning. It finally dried. Okay, so I'm gonna be extremely careful with this. Specifically, you can barely even see it because it should still be transparent. It is. This is the color it will end up being. So you see how there's all these little bubbles in there, and it's not any way to pop them. You have to get rid of those. So what I use is I use a heat gun, this heat gun, and I just lightly blow it so all the bubbles pop. You can see the pop, but you can see the bubbles starting to pop. Morning. So it has been a day, and this is finally cured. The way I know that is because the highest curing time is 12 to 14 hours, and it's been way over that. Now it's time to finally take it out the mold. This looks pretty. We have to shave down the sides. We have to sand down the sides though, because of that. But we have to sand it and polish it. But yeah, it looks really good. I'm actually really surprised. So now all we're gonna do is take this sanding paper, clear off the edges because even my mom said that it was sharp. So it looks much better around the edges. So now it's time for the actual clearing because I can't just give it to her with white edges and this on top of it. So yeah, now it's time to make it glossy. Oh my god, this project is finally done. And for my first try, I think this is really good. It looks really nice. Like I like the matted sides. It feels really soft, by the way. But yeah, the matted sides, the clear background. I love how this turned out, especially for my first time, and that's really good. So now, unlike the other video when I was showing off my final project, I have something else in store that if you follow my Instagram, you would know what it is that I'm about to show you. And I can finally use it for this. Okay, so anyways, that is the end of this Valentine's Day series and the end of both projects. Finally! I say that like it wasn't fun. It was, even though there was some bumps along the way. I'm happy that for my first 2 videos, this came out pretty good. Real quick, I apologize for this video being as long as it was because I didn't expect to have so many bumps or stuff that I would have to do requiring to this. But I still hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't watched part 1, go watch it. If you haven't followed my Instagram, go follow it. And if you haven't subscribed, the most important part, you should probably hit that button. Just go down, click it. So that's the end of the video, and thank you for watching. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.